In an ABC 17 News crime alert, police have still not made any arrests after a shooting in Columbia.
We first told you about this as breaking news last night at our 10 o'clock newscast. Today, police said officers are looking for several people of interest. We're told police found around 20 to 30 shell casings near Old Highway 63 and Broadway and are working to process that evidence.
As of this morning, a 19-year-old man who was shot was in critical condition but is expected to survive. Officers who provided him first aid at the scene may be the reason the man lives.
Tonight, ABC 17 investigates how the pandemic is preventing training for new officers on giving this kind of medical attention to victims.
ABC 17's Sydney Olson is live at the Columbia Police Department.
And Sydney, you spoke with police about how often officers have to give this kind of care and how COVID-19 is affecting training.
Yeah, Deb Lucas, police tell me that officers provide potentially life-saving first aid almost weekly. Now, they use trauma kits that they keep in each patrol car, but some officers are not formally trained on using them. The police department says officers give medical attention to victims almost weekly because they are often the first to a scene. And with instances like the shooting last night at Cliffside Manor Apartments, every minute counts.
Last night, in almost all the instances, it was a matter of life and death.
Police officers have trauma kits on hand, which have things like tourniquets and bandages. We told you about a report following a shooting last year on Volunteer Drive that killed 2 and hurt 3 others that mentioned the need for further training on the kits. The department had plans to bring someone who is certified in using the kits to the department to train, but COVID-19 put a stop to that.
I know well over half of them are trained. It would just be probably anyone with 2 years or less.
Dr. Jeffrey Kokenauer with MU Healthcare is part of the Stop the Bleed campaign that has worked with local law enforcement on basic training to stop hemorrhage and is familiar with the kits. He says formal training can be more robust, but the kits are very simple and anyone who is trained can still provide efficient directions.
Yeah, you might lose a little bit by not having, a trauma surgeon or an emergency physician or emergency nurse be able to teach the course, but by no means is it, I think, losing the impact that it still has.
The department trains officers on how to use the kits once every several years and last trained 3 years ago. In the meantime, officers who have been trained are teaching others how to use the equipment inside the kits. Once it is safe again, CPD will make sure that all officers are trained on using the kits properly and any other training that they were not able to do during the pandemic. Reporting live in Columbia, Sydney Olson, ABC 17 News.
Okay, Sydney, thank you. You can also find the report from the shooting on Volunteer Drive. It talks about that need for training on our website.